Okay, I know we don't usually do videos like this, but this one is about boiling lobster humanely. Now, granted, this is a humane way. The lobster is still very much alive. Now, once again, this lobster is still very much alive. But if you notice, you can see them moving, but they are frozen. The body is frozen, so that way, even though it's still living, that way the lobster, when you go to boil it, the nerve endings, well, the nerve endings don't react similarly to how human nerve endings would react, but like they can still feel the discomfort, but not the way humans can. But still, just to be humane, we freeze them first, because what that does, it doesn't kill them, it just kills their nerve endings. But don't leave them in too long, or else they will die and they will sour. These have been in there for about 4 hours, 5 hours now, and they're still very much alive. See them moving there just a little tiny bit. They're still alive, but they're almost completely brain dead. What brain they have usually, it can feel discomfort. It can detect it, but not the same way that a human could. But still, it's more humane just to do it like this. You just put them in the freezer where they're cold-blooded, so they, maybe if they feel it only slightly, but yeah, I worked in restaurants before where part of our job was to, well, prepare and dispatch and butcher lobsters and all. And once again, this is not to be cruel to me, it's just to be, well, this is a humane way to do it here, and also it tastes pretty good. But yeah, the way that I'm doing it, the animal is pretty much frozen. Their nerves are still working, but well, I mean, no, not the nerves. Their nerves are no longer working, although they're more active, but they're in sort of a comatic state. But yeah, remember, but once again, yeah, like I said, this is a more humane way of doing it, and so yeah, the lobsters don't have to suffer terrifically. Here we have this is garlic with some good seasoning, powder for steak. Also, in addition to all that, I've added some onion powder and a bit of cayenne. Not too much, just a little tiny sprinkle is all you need. Beginning at a low temperature, because that way all this boils up and it actually draws the flavor from it. Pepper, obviously, salt, obviously. But that's in the steak seasoning that's in there, and lemon, concentrated lemon juice from real lemons. That's the microwave. Yeah, that's what we're using. So I'm going to be very humane about this, and I'm going to show you how to dispatch and prepare one of the lobsters when the time comes. In just a few minutes, and like I said, the lobsters are, you see, still very much alive. It didn't kill them, but their lights are out. They're in a comatic state. But yeah, in the steakhouses, this is how it goes. This is not to be cruel to the animals, just to show you how to humanely prepare a lobster without having to cut or boil live, at least not boil conscious. There is a humane, or a more humane way of doing it. This is not perfectly humane, but it's a lot more, well, it's a lot better than just dunking them in. I mean, that's not, even though they can't feel the same as we can because of how their nerve endings work. They can feel discomfort, they just can't feel the same we can. But yeah, it's going to be very peaceful. It's not going to be anything dramatic and such. Now, that whistling sound you hear when you boil a lobster, the sound when you boil them, that's the air escaping from the body of the lobster. But I find when you do this, there's not as much of it, and so I'm not a marine biologist, but yeah, I can tell you that this is a more humane way of getting the job done. So yeah, please, yeah, I'll just get this ready, and we won't have to feel as guilty. But yeah, like I said, this is just to show a humane way of how to dispatch, or in this case, boil a lobster without losing the freshness, and also being more gentle about it.